Hey, what is up guys? Calum or Calum's Fish Tanks, and in today's video, we're working on this tank behind me. This is probably my longest existing scape I have set up currently. It's about 16 months old and it's kind of became a jungle. As you can see, there's moss everywhere as well as java fern all over the place. So today I'm gonna go in, take care of all that stuff and walk you guys through the process. As well as I'm dealing with a bit of blackbeard algae, which I'm gonna try to do some steps to take care of so it won't come back this time. So I don't know exactly where to start here. There's a lot to take care of, a lot of little things, but I think what I'm gonna start off first with is taking care of all of the super long leaves of java fern that are all over the place. So you just trim them off at the base, and then what's left will either rot off or sprout out a new side shoot where java fern will continue to creep. So I'm just gonna remove all the super long leaves, like this one here. As you can see, it's growing way over and it's up against the glass. These don't float well, so make sure you pull them up or else they'll just end up somewhere across your tank. I noticed some have made it all the way over to the back. I don't know if you can see them that well. I'll go in with my hand and grab it. But there's one, or two or three way back there in the back corner that I'm gonna trim out here. So you can see there we've opened the left side up quite a bit. I trimmed out quite a bit of the java fern. A lot of it I couldn't trim well, and I still need to trim some more of this stuff because it's just, the needle leaf I think is a bit too long for this tank. But now I'm just gonna go throughout the carpet and remove any kind of moss that has made its way in between plants. So there you can see a little chunk hopefully, and I'm just gonna remove all that. Right up front here, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a little piece of trident java leaf rhizome. Maybe you can see it now. Yeah, it's trying to creep into the foreground, which I'm not going to let happen, and I'm going to just rip it off, and I may plant this in one of my other tanks to start growing into a mother plant. So excuse all the water on the front glass, but now I'm going to rip out this humongous piece of moss. It's all yellow and doesn't really look good, and it's just kind of all over the place. So I'm going to tear this out, make sure not to miss any pieces that fall off so it doesn't start growing back everywhere. I'll check this out a bit later and see if I want to replant any of it. So I've now cleaned up both viewing angles of the tank. There's a lot less java fern. It looks a lot less full, and you can see I have a lot of work to do filling in the limnophilia. But now I'm going to try to take care of these glue spots on the wood. I have a wire brush, so I don't know how well it will work. If it will remove them at all. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it will. It looks like it's just making them brighter, honestly, and making a mess of my tank. I'll try this side too, see if it does anything, because they're pretty unsightly, honestly. But if it doesn't work, I may put moss or different kinds of bucephalandra over them, because I have a ton. So I just finished scraping down the glass, and here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to start a siphon with a piece of airline tubing. So it'll be a super slow flow. And then I'm going to take a little pipette I have to stir up the substrate a little. And then I'm going to siphon it all up. And this will hopefully stop BBA from coming back, because this is a bunch of organics I have in my soil. So hopefully it can pick these up. Doesn't seem to be sucking too much, so I'll have to be doing this slow to make sure I get it all and it doesn't just settle back down into the substrate. But I'm going to do this around the full tank, and hopefully it'll make a difference. So while the tank is half empty, I think I'm going to clean my filter really quick. I think you guys have seen it done a bunch of times, so I'm not really going to show it. I think I'm just going to be changing out the mechanical media. So after doing the maintenance, the tank was still pretty cloudy. So I let it sit for a couple days, and now I'm continuing on the video now. So it's been about 3 or 4 days, and that explains why I'm wearing a different shirt and stuff, but the tank is looking pretty good, so let's talk a little bit about it. Over the past couple months, I've only been doing 50% water changes, and I haven't really been getting my hands in the tank. So that explains how I let moss get all over the place. And going in and taking it out, I just think made my carpet look a lot better and a lot more uniform. It's already a mix of Marsilea hirsuta, dwarf hairgrass, as well as some Liliopsis brasiliensis, and I think a fourth plant was just a bit too much, so I got rid of all the moss, and I'm liking the much more bright green because I feel like it contrasts a bit better with the rest of the scape. And then I also wanted to try to start taking care of my blackbeard algae problem. Now the problem with blackbeard algae is there's no real scientific research out there on there. There's no like facts about it, if you'd call it that. So it's all people saying, oh, this is what worked for me, and then trying it and hoping it works for you as well. But there's a bunch of different problems. So I've been trying to see if organics are my problem. So I've been going through with the pipette in all of my tanks and just stirring up the substrate a little bit and sucking up all the dirt that comes out, hoping that that will maybe take care of my blackbeard algae problem. Now this is a tank I haven't done videos on in a very long time. So there's a couple things that's changed in here. I don't think really any plants. I'd have to go back way back in my videos to find that out. But I have added some blue bolt shrimp, which are actually my favorite shrimp, and I'm super lucky because my tap water is perfect for these guys. Like the KH, the GH, and the TDS, all of that stuff works great for these guys, so they've been doing super well in here. I unfortunately don't think I have any males, so I haven't had much breeding yet. But I have about 6 females in here and I love watching them, and I post them all the time over on my Instagram account. Anyways guys, I think that about does it for this video. I'll have more coming up soon. I've got a bunch of ideas, I just need to record them. But thank you guys so much for watching. This was Calum's Fish Tanks. Peace.